I hacked a ton of computers. I had a method, I won't explain the method because it still could work today, where I could infect computers with malware. I could look through your webcam, I could control your keyboard, your mouse, look at your screen, do anything I want without you knowing that I'm there. And instead of having the remote access Trojan functionality where I could take control of these computers, I decided to do crypto mining. The thing that I did that was, if you could say nice, was...
Were you always an ethical hacker?
No.
What are some of the things that you've done that you've hacked into? What's one of the... Give us some examples.
So, I guess depends on what you want to know. Like people or organizations or both.
Let's go into all of it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I'm limited by what I could say here. I know there's a statute of limitations. I'm sure it'd be fine, but there's some things that I regret that I would take back. But there is one thing out there that's public. There's a rap song that mentions me about, are you familiar with crypto mining?
Yes.
Okay, so I hacked a ton of computers. I had a method, I won't explain the method because it still could work today, where I could infect computers with malware. And a lot of people that infect computers with malware, which is just people, if you don't know what malware is, it comes in various forms, but the type that I'm talking about is called a remote access Trojan. And that's like the equivalent of me standing in front of your computer with full access to it, and I can look through your webcam, I can control your keyboard, your mouse, look at your screen, do anything I want without you knowing that I'm there. And I infected a ton of computers, and instead of having the remote access Trojan functionality where I could I could take control of these computers, I decided to do crypto mining. So at that time it was just Bitcoin and Litecoin, and I had quite a bit of infected computers mining at all times. The thing that I did that was, if you could say nice, was that when the computer was idle, it would use 100% of the processor and the graphics card to mine the coins. And when the computer was in use, it would only use 20%. So they wouldn't, have a horrible experience with their computer just being bogged down the entire time. But that was, I guess, when Bitcoin started around that time.
So you had hacked into how many computers? 100?
Thousands.
Thousands
tens
of
of
computers?
thousands. Yeah, probably tens of thousands.
And so all of these tens of thousands of computers are mining cryptocurrency and going into your account?
They were going into a pool. So pooled mining is a lot of people mining together, and then all of the whoever's putting in the most, I guess the reward is split based upon the contribution. So if you're contributing twice as much as me, you'll get twice as much of a profit. So it was all being sent to a specific pool offshores. Why
did that stop?
I have morals, and there was a situation that came up where obviously the bots, if let's say I had to change a pool or something went wrong, they had to be updated across the board. Every single bot would have to be updated to be pointed at a different address. I still had access to be able to do that, and I was in a community at that time with some bad people who wanted to, kind of buy access to my bots, and I wasn't okay with that, and it kind of lined up perfectly with another business opportunity that I had in life where I kind of just said, you know what, screw this, I'm done, I'm not taking the risk. If I get in trouble with what they call a botnet, if I get in trouble with this botnet, I'm doing a long time in prison, and it's not worth it to me. I can't get in trouble, and I stopped on my own will. I didn't get caught. There was people that knew about it, hackers, they may not have known it was me. Now they know it's me, but at the time they didn't know that it was me. But no, I didn't get caught, and I'm past the statute of limitations. I didn't hurt anybody. Maybe your power bill went up a couple cents, but that's about it. Yeah, that was the extent of that specific hack.
Was that the one that was that the hack that changed you, that turned you into ethical, or was there?
I would say, yeah. I would say, yeah, because around that time I switched to doing cybersecurity and starting the other businesses that we're going to talk about. I would say, yeah, Yeah, I never really thought of it till now, but I would say that's when I became an ethical hacker rather than a gray hat or a black hat hacker.
What is a gray hat hacker?
Gray hat is in between. So somebody that, like, for example, if I went to your website, I hacked your website and I sent you an email and said, hey, I found a vulnerability in your site. You could call, the FBI and say, hey, this guy just hacked my site and I didn't give him permission. Or you could say, thank you. That's a gray hat hacker.
And a black hat?
Black hat just, takes over your website, tells you, hey, you better pay me or I'm releasing all your information or deleting your site. And here's all the information about you and your wife and your family and everything, blah, 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 blah. Black hat hackers are, they're kind of ruthless.
So you're in the cryptocurrency business. Being a hacker, or you were, is this the way of the future? Are we going to, what do you think? What's your opinion on this?
Yeah. I mean, cybersecurity and keeping yourself protected on the internet is the future. If you're not paying attention to that now, and you're not seeing your browser that's warning you, the TV that's warning you, the constant news, the constant ransomware notices. I mean, if you haven't heard about the active breaches right now on all of these major websites and you're not doing anything about it, you really should start, because it is the future and it's only going to get more intense and it's only going to get more dangerous. And everything that you have, is attached to the internet. Everything. I mean, unless you live out in the middle of nowhere with no internet connection, and even the power in your house is controlled by a remote switch. Like, what if I turned off your power for a week and you live out in the middle of nowhere? You really have to take your security seriously. That's just a random thought, but it's a possibility.
I'm glad you brought that up, but I actually meant cryptocurrency. What's your opinion on cryptocurrency? Is it here to stay? It's very volatile.
Very volatile. I think that Bitcoin's here to stay.
Do you?
Yeah.
Are you all in on Bitcoin?
Can't confirm or deny.
Would you like to see Bitcoin?
I would love to see Bitcoin hit the moon. I mean, it's doing well at this moment. It's around 30 grand. But I would love to see what it was projected to be at in the 100,000s, possibly $1 million a coin.
You think that's possible?
Absolutely. I mean, when I started, it was only, maybe a couple dollars at the most per coin.
Damn. Well, what brought you to South Florida?
I started a marketing company to help people get into drug and alcohol rehab. And for anyone that's familiar with that topic, they're going to think, okay, well, he had a marketing company. He was doing a thing called patient brokering, which is a felony. And I was not doing that. I didn't even know what that was at the time. I just knew I could generate leads from the internet. And I started this company called The Treatment Source, which was just a website. They filled out a survey, and the survey would bring them to a 1-800 number if they had mental health or substance abuse. They changed the term, substance use issues. And I would send those patients or clients to a drug and alcohol rehab in South Florida. And I was generating a ton of clients and doing really well with the internet marketing campaigns. And one day I get a call from a guy who says he was like, hey, you won't come to Fort Lauderdale Airport right now. And this is like, right when I'm waking up. And I was like, yeah, I will. Like, I was just, he thought I was joking. I called him a couple hours later. I booked my flight, and I was like, hey, I'm at the Fort Lauderdale Airport. He didn't believe me. And he picks me up at the airport, and he was blown away that I even showed up there. But, I had just like a week's worth of stuff packed with me.
Time is a funny thing. It's so limited, and yet we let it pass by us. We're all guilty of putting important things off until later. If you've been putting off life insurance, check out Fabric by Gerber Life. They make it fast and easy so you can check it off your list right now. Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance you can get done today. Made for busy parents like you, all online and on your schedule right from your couch. You could be covered in under 10 minutes with no health exam required. Fabric has partnered with Gerber Life, trusted by millions of families just like yours for over 50 years. There's no risk. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can cancel at any time. And they have over 1,900 five-star reviews on Trustpilot with a rating of excellent. Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to help protect their family. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/srclips. That's meetfabric.com/srclips. MEET fabric.com/srclips. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company, not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
When I got back to his house, we were talking about, like the rehab business and, the marketing and all the intricacies of the industry. And we became good friends at that point. And I was thinking, well, why don't I start a rehab? Like maybe I could do this myself. If I can generate the business for a rehab, maybe we could do it together. So he was like, yeah, well, I own one now, obviously, because he was one of my customers at that time. And he decided to sell his shares in his rehab and use that to to invest into one with me. And we started a treatment center together. And I decided to move to Florida. So I went back to PA. I put my car on the back of a U-Haul, filled it up with all my stuff, drove down to Florida from Pennsylvania, and never looked back, and started a drug and alcohol and mental health facility.
How old are you at this point?
22.
You started a rehab at age 22?
Yeah, I think I was the youngest owners in the treatment world at that time, yeah.
Wow. So what was your motivation for this? Because you are, from our research, you are all about helping humans.
Yeah. So my motivation was, like I said earlier, that my family, my dad's side specifically, had some serious drug issues. Still dealing with them. I went through some serious drug issues. A lot of friends of mine have gone through drug issues or still going through drug issues. And I just, maybe I got this from my mom, my grandma, my grandpa, but I just love to help people. I don't know what it is. It makes me happy. And I guess, what would that be? Hospitality. Hospitality has always just been something that makes me happy.
Well, you had some pretty tragic experiences as well, if I remember correctly. Do you want to go into any of those?
Well, there's a lot of them. So are you talking more of the addiction side of things? Or
yeah, you had a couple friends die.
Mm-hmm. So I've had a lot of friends die due to heroin overdose or carfentanil, fentanyl, butyl-fentanyl, acetyl-fentanyl, and all of the different fentanyls that are getting over here and being, put in heroin. And I understand that they chose to use drugs regardless of what was in it, but they definitely weren't planning on dying.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I lost my Uncle Richie to an overdose. I lost my best friend Ricky Rivas to an overdose, and I was, I'll tell you that story because this is how something else happened. But I got a call from Ricky's parents a couple years back, and they were like, I haven't heard from Ricky since this morning, and do you mind going over there and checking on him? And he was about a 15-minute drive from me, and he wasn't answering my phone calls. And at this time, he wasn't on drugs. He wasn't messing up or anything. He worked for me at the rehab, and we spent every day together. So I go to his condo. I walk in the door, and I look to my left, and I see him in the bathroom, and he had his face up against the vanity, and he was wearing his shorts, and I saw that he had a needle and a spoon, and just it didn't look good. So I ran over and I tried to wake him up, and he wasn't waking up. So I called 911. And I'm running down through the elevator to go to get. I didn't think anything was wrong with him, so I didn't bring Narcan upstairs or anything. Like, Narcan's what saves opiate addicts from overdosing. So I ran to my car, I grabbed that. 911's telling me what to do. I get back to the room, and they told me to take him off the toilet and put him on the floor, and his body was still in the position that it was in when I saw him sitting there, and his face was sideways from being on the vanity, and I'm still in denial at this point. I gave him the Narcan in his leg. I was, giving him CPR like they said to do, and I just, I remember when the cops showed up and the ambulance showed up, they didn't talk to his parents. I did. I told his parents that their son was gone, and which I thought was a little bit ridiculous. I thought that the detective should be the one handling that, especially with how I was I was crying my eyes out. Like, he lost my best friend,
The
Sorry.
I lost my best friend to addiction too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, my best friend, he was a SEAL. I worked with him at the agency. He experienced a lot of trauma, became addicted to opiates for injuries. Then that just became a, straight addiction. They cut the pills. He went to heroin, and I spent a lot of time trying to get him better. Moved in with me, got him back on his feet, got his family involved, got him into therapy. I mean, I love this motherfucker. We'd been through a lot of shit together. And he was a phenomenal hockey player. And, I used to live in Boca Raton too. And so he lived right by me. And he kept telling me he wanted to start this hockey nonprofit for wounded warriors, and that he was going to get the Panthers to sponsor it. Now, he's one of the smartest human beings I've ever met in my life, even when he was high. But as it got worse and worse, you didn't even, just his appearance, you didn't even want to be around him. He just looked sick. And I was, in the back of my head, I was like, yeah, okay, you're going to get the Panthers on board. Well, I'll be damned. The son of a bitch got the fucking Panthers on board. And I think it was the first NHL team to sponsor a wounded warrior. You had to be a disabled veteran to play on the hockey team.
Okay.
He had somebody helping him. The Panthers called the guy that was helping him to tell him, hey, we're going to do it. We're going to sponsor the team. You got the NHL sponsor. We're going to sponsor the team. That guy went over to tell him, hey, dude, you did it.
Yeah.
And nobody answered the door. And trying to keep my shit together here.
Yeah,
But
I understand.
yeah, he didn't answer the door. Got on a stool to see, the top part, and there he was, laying on the floor, and
Sorry to hear that, man.
yeah.
I know what it feels like.
I just want you to know I can relate, and I've lost a lot of friends to addiction.
Likewise, that was the first one, obviously, that happened to me, and I found them, and I can't explain that, and I can't bring them back. But what you can do is educate people and try to help more people so that it doesn't happen to them. And you can't fix everybody. You can't get it through everybody's head that they need to stop, and it's dangerous, and it's not just heroin and opiates like it used to be. It's it's coke, it's meth, it's painkillers that are pressed, it's Xanax. They all are being cut with fentanyl. This isn't a conspiracy theory; it's fact. I mean, the number one leading cause of death, 18 to 49 right now, is fentanyl. That's more than car accidents, more than anything else. 18 to 49 years old, fentanyl. So any drug that you're doing, you have to be careful that, not be careful. You have to just try to get away from it or get a testing kit. If you refuse to stop doing drugs, get testing kits, because fentanyl will kill you.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.